Good early morning. Figured I'd do a quickie real fast before I, of all things, finally pass out. Because, like I said, my sleep it's been flipped on me. No, I've got somebody, hopefully later today after like 4 p.m. or whatever, supposed to be buying the three-wheeler. So that gives me a chance to catch up on one bill and at least get the transmission on the car fixed real quick. And I'll get that all adjusted and whatnot. So that way, that's all dealt with, taken care of, blah, blah, blah. That way I know it'll be good for a decent drive. And then, yeah, I just got to figure out, so raining and everything. So it's like the truck bullshit. I just can't seem to break free of it. And then I've got the anxiety of Tuesday of having to, it's a video thing, a video hearing type thing for Social Security, and I'm just done with all the crap, really, to be honest, and just, excuse me, trying to get rid of what I need to, and then if I have to, and then at some point, if I got to come back and get the rest of my things, I will, or even just, I guess in essence, send for it, I guess you could say. At some point, it's just no. I got to test out the two decks last night after I did the cleansed them and then that type of stuff, and yeah, it was actually pretty fun. They're actually pretty easy to read for. I was thinking the GOT ones would be a little easier than the movie ones, but the movie ones, I read those like nothing. It was like, wow, okay. I still got to give them a few runs just to make, do that type of thing and get used to these decks and all. But both were easy to read. So, yeah, no, it was just interesting. And then I'd already done a vid, but I went ahead and removed it from being public because, yeah, no, I just, dealt with some love bombing last night and hoovering and all that stuff, and I already knew that this weekend some shit was gonna be going on, and it's like, I'm really done with it. I'm trying to turn what I went through into more or less not just a lesson that because I've definitely learned some shit from this. It's just trying to figure out how I can help others that have gone through the similar shit, without necessarily, derailing myself from things that I still want to do, and I guess just right now I just, I have a few things, juggling in my head, but it's like I have some direction. If you take away the D from direction, you have no. I'm sorry. I'm just, I was dealing with a lot of anxiety last night, and not because it went from commenting on a vid to emails to phone call, and then back to emails, like vid talk type stuff, and it's like, no, I went through a lot of shit, and the idea that it got to the point that my life was being threatened, and I dealt with the stalking, the cyber stalk, I dealt with a lot of really fucked up things, and it destroyed my family. I lost my kids in all of this. Like, I don't really have any friends to turn to, and the ones that I can, I don't want to bring this mess to their door. I still talk to my buddy Nate here and there. I visit him once in a while, go down and either, shoot the shit and then maybe watch like an episode or two of a TV show or a movie or something, and then walk back. Am I in that situation where, yeah, let's put it this way, I'm ready to move on. I don't hate them. I don't I don't wish on them at all what was done to me. I really don't. The one thing that I really wish for them is that they get some genuine help, and their family actually shows some, what do you call it, compassion or sympathy, whatever it is, to some degree, and actually shows some genuine support where she's concerned, because I don't have it in me to keep dealing with these cycles. Like, I lost everything. All I have left, is the home that I'm selling, unless there's some way, that magical way, I was able to somehow feel safe enough there to basically get it repaired and do all that stuff. But I'm ready to, I'm still keeping it up for sale until it's sold so it can be reinvested, because everything that gone on, I don't feel safe in this state. I don't feel safe because, on multiple levels, where that person's concerned and the people that they were and are connected to, it's like, no, I lost everything. I was driven out of my home to have to go stay with family and isolate myself as if I was still living on that fucking mountain. And it's like, no, I don't hate them. I'm not even angry at this point. Pretty disappointed, but I forgive them. And it took a lot of work to really to get it in this healing process, and I know I have more work to do. Honestly, yeah, I really wish I didn't have to keep doing this alone, but I'm still doing it. And I've been doing this purely on faith, and for most part leaving it in God's hands. Whatever happens Tuesday happens. I just, at least from that point on, have one less thing to deal with, and I know what the next step is from that point, at least. Unless something comes out of nowhere that I'm not aware of. But no, I just hope some of these others that are watching, they realize that some of these vids, because I noticed one vid that I had posted, I think, like 7 months ago, and it started getting a bunch of views and a couple likes almost right away. Like, it was one of those ones where I was burned out. I was just like, I've had enough of this shit. Like, they're getting enjoyment out of it. I don't think they realized that was 7 months ago. See, after hiding, basically closing the channel, which involves basically turning all videos to private. When I unhid them, turned it all to public, it returned them not in order. So probably from this vid down to maybe 5 or 6 days ago, maybe 7 days ago, so maybe just say a week ago. It's going to be more or less more closer to being accurate. I don't know how it shows up for other people. I know for me, it'll come up and it'll show like vids that I posted even a year or two ago, just like a few days ago. As if I posted them a few days ago. And then it'll slowly correct itself or whatever back in order. But yeah, no, I just... No, I'm doing fine, actually. And after dealing with that message, the email, then the phone call, and talking to them for a moment, I don't hate them. I just don't want anything to do with them anymore. I don't have any ill wishes towards them, anything. They do need to take accountability for what they fucking did, though. And a lot of that, to me, is they need help. Their family needs to pull their head out of their ass, or whatever the hell's going on. She needs to get the hell away from the people that she's surrounded herself with, basically, and go get some help. Does this mean she has to stop whatever career she's doing or anything? No, she needs to get some help. What was done is not okay. And after the hoovering, the love bombing, all that stuff last night, that, oh, I had a bad feeling, you know, I just want to check on you, this type of stuff, and blah, blah, blah. You know, one thing's for certain, over the last couple weeks, and I'll even say this, if you go back to a previous vid from my birthday, so by this point, it's like, what, 4 days ago, something like that. What is it? Today's the 26th. It's 26 now. So 4 days ago, I had said that if nothing was, you know, I was surprised, you know, nothing, you know, big bullshit was going on my birthday, but I wouldn't be surprised if stuff was going to happen on the weekend. I actually have another vid that I had posted, followed by, you know, my prep vid, followed by the vid that I did when I was cooking up in the mountains. I made some chicken yakisoba. You know, I think in one of those, I think the one when I was cooking, I made the same comment that I won't be surprised if something doesn't happen on my birthday. It'll be over the weekend. So then Saturday, you know, was my son coming up like it was going to get a bad reaction. No, it still hurts, but it's not like I'm going to react to it. It's at the point, it's like, it is what it is. It's irritating, yes. But it is what it is. I would rather leave it all behind than keep dealing with the abuse. And I don't need my parents being included in that abuse because I'm around. This is some petty shit. So I'd rather be gone and away from all of it, so at least my parents have some family and all that stuff, you know, having a relationship with them, and instead of being alienated just because they stood by me, well, the rest fucking took their part in all this. I'm done with it all. You know, I'm disappointed in a lot of it. You know, I mean, there's still some anger there, but there's really not a whole lot of anger with it. It's just, I'm done with it. It's bullshit. And yeah. No, I even recorded the phone call. And it lasted about a minute and a half, and I told her, I was like, you know, I just don't really want to talk to you right now because I just don't want anything to do with her. I don't hate her. I just don't trust her and will never trust her again. And to act as if nothing happened, that's some shit right there. I could never do what that person or any and the people that she was linked to did to somebody just to cover their shit up, and then and whatever, and then go contacting them again after putting their life in danger, causing them to lose, you know, friends, family, kids, everything, and then act like they're worried about you and like nothing happened. I could not do that to someone. No, I could not do that to someone. I learned some big lessons in this, not just on, you know, relationships and what kind of person I'd like to be with the rest of my life. I learned a shit ton about narcissism. And it opened a lot of doors in my head in so many different ways. It caused me, yeah. Am I sitting here going, I'm normal and fixing it? No, I've still got a lot of healing to do. And no, I will not be the same as I was before. I don't know. All I can do is keep having faith and keep moving forward. And basically keep leaving it in God and karma's hands. You know, and given the, yeah. And if ever given the, you know, that gift of meeting someone, you know, in due time, then it'll happen. And I'm not, you know, if it happened, well, it's Monday now, today or next week or a year from now, it'll happen when it happens. I'm just doing my best to take and just keep healing, keep moving forward, and keep doing what I know I need to do right now, especially when it comes to the fact that, you know, I'm ready at this point to sell, you know, I'm already doing so. I'm selling what I need to, so that way my car's ready and good to go. and I can just grab what few things I need to put in the back of my little car and and leave. I was shown what family was versus relatives. I was shown what friendships were. I was shown a lot of things over the last decade. And a lot of things, it was things that you don't do. And when it comes to those friends of mine that were not a part of this, that I've had to walk away from, and it has nothing to do with not loving them, disliking them, hating them, being angry, nothing like that. I'm doing what it takes and what is necessary to not take this healing process serious, but to not allow myself to fall back into those cycles, and to continue to be vulnerable to people like that who's going to treat me like that again. Does that mean that those friends are going to be no? Let's put it in the sense of drug addiction. It's like a drug addiction, and many people tell you that there is an addiction involved to it. Part of what helped of the process of when I was able to kick some of the addictions I was dealing with a long time ago was not just avoiding that drug. It wasn't just avoiding certain places and specific people. It was involving avoiding the drug, the people that I was doing that stuff with, the people that I hung out with, was associated with through all that, and very much cut it down to, at that time, about 2 or 3 people. What this did was at a level that it destroyed every aspect of my life, as if I had been had a serious drug addiction. I lost everything. And all I have left is my home to rely on to restart. Why? Because I don't want to go into it. Like, that's why I actually enlisted the other bit. I really don't want to go into it, but I have all the proof of what I've dealt with. And, there's plenty of vids, like I said, I unlocked everything. So there's over 600, videos showing the last few years. Not just the progression of where I started just losing it and everything. And all this stuff started happening. We kind of got to see the in-betweens, all that stuff. Between this channel and my Lost in Thought Today channel, you basically get to see everything from when I first got to home to right now as you're watching this one. And so it's like, when it comes to the people involved where she's concerned, I just want nothing to do with them. They all definitely deserve to be held accountable for their part in things. I don't hate them or anything like that at this point. They all fucking need to go get some help. I didn't deserve what happened. I didn't deserve any of this shit. Yet I'm not going to take responsibility for them or the person that was very much at core of a lot of this. I'll just say it that way. I'm not taking responsibility for the shit or their karma or anything like that, especially now. They've got to take it themselves. I'm not going to be scapegoated. I'm not going to be manipulated, and I'm not going to be, in essence, tempted back around into that situation again. Especially with that person. I'm ready to completely, make a real start in life. Granted, this shit needs to change. And I recognize that all of this has to change. The atmosphere, the people, everything has to change. I will not sever certain friendships, especially my buddy Nate. Like I said, I've known him since I was 8 years old. That's my brother. Regardless of situation, of anything, that's my brother. It's just I understand that some relationships will be at a distance, and especially, because I need to get my life back in order, and especially get it going, and not be a stepping stone for somebody anymore. And it's not just one person. This has been a series of things, you know. Yeah. And the one person that I was stupid enough to get with, you know, that was on me in the sense of that situation and that relationship. Because I knew better. You know, I allowed temptation and drugs and alcohol to make decisions for me at that time. I learned a lot of hard fucking lessons. In the last, especially the last 10 alone. We'll just put it in that way, because between me waking up in that hospital and say the first 2-3 years, for most part, things were okay other than losing my brother, my sister, just divorces, everything. Those first couple years, for most part, were all right and pretty damn good with especially that person. But from there on, it's been nothing but a learning lesson. And all I can do is, in more or less, look at this as in a sense of, regardless of how much it hurt and what it did, I'm grateful for the lessons. Because I really learned some lessons in this. And I really do hope to be able to help other people who've been going through similar shit. Yet I still want to be able to continue down, like, yeah, I got to the point where I realized I would like to have a very private life. I don't even want this phone anymore, to be honest. I would rather go to a different camera or use my Canon than this. It's just right now I'm holding it. I keep this going because of my home. And once my home is sold, paying everything off, then it's like I got the other one to rely on while I travel to wherever it is. This one pretty much becomes a dud and a digital camera at that point, and nothing more. Because what I just went through, especially over the last, might as well say, went through some fucking serious hell the last 5 years. And since 2021, in September, it really hit a peak. And then over the last couple months, the amount of shit that just the last few months, it's been going on since before Christmas. This shit got so fucking bad that it got really fucking bad. No, I would really like to have obviously, you know, where I can still be able to work on my vids and stuff. I don't want to be in a position, you know, I would like to have a little bit more of a private life on the side of that, if you understand what I mean, and all that. I know I've said a lot here. A lot of it has been sharing my experience and everything, and showing what I've been going through, and all that through the abuse that I've been dealing with, and had been dealing with, I should say, because thankfully things have calmed down over the last, like I said, couple weeks or whatever. Knock on wood again, because I can't trust all the shit going on. Yeah, I'm standing in the bathroom of the of this thing, but I'm just, you know, I just realized I've gone too far in this healing process. I've still got more to do, and that's what I want to do. I know that, you know, I've actually found, you know, between relying on my faith and being reminded that I still have some, you know, happy places and safe places, I guess you can say, in my memory, and with very specific people, and so I'm gonna, for most part, keep it that way. Yeah, I'm tired. And I was getting ready to lay down. I was like, you know, I'm gonna go ahead and do this vid real fast before I, you know, go and pass out for a few hours. Hopefully be up by noon or whatever. I mean, you'd think I'm lazy as fuck, but sorry for my language, but damn it, I'm getting pretty disappointed in myself too. This is where I loved camping, because I used to go get my hunter's tags when I was working, and I'd intentionally, you know, I'd schedule hunting trips. You know, my work would let me do so, but it was my excuse to be able to go on camping trips. I didn't care if I actually got something or not. If I got something, I got something, you know. But that was my way of being able to go camping. I had an excuse to go camping. I could reset my my internal clocks and all that, get to spend time out there, be detached, from, phone signals for most part, being in an area where it's splotchy, that type of thing. Unless I hike up far enough, then there's no connection. But I learned, as I've been saying, I learned a lot. I learned what I want in a relationship, with people, all that stuff. Am I gonna go out and go be a dick to people or be arrogant about it? No, I'm still gonna do my best to be myself, the best I can be. What I've been able to, so for most part, maintain. But no, this was definitely a big giant shit show, and it caused a lot of damage. And right now, outside of all this crap, and then getting to play with the Lego real quick, and then messing with the cards and all that, I haven't had a whole lot that I could focus on outside of this bullshit. And I'll just say over the last couple weeks, especially, I'll just say more or less, yeah, over the last week and a half, I've had some pretty heavy reminders. Especially a big one, a pretty heavy reminder on where, how important it was that I really continue doing this healing. And yeah. Yeah. There's someone out there, in all honesty, I would really like to see right now. And no, it's not that person. Because that was too much. That was too much for me right now, and period. I don't wish that on anybody. And I don't wish it on them. Yeah, I keep saying I don't wish it on anybody. And so hopefully, I'm using hopefully because I'm not gonna, I'm gonna keep it as a, take it with a grain of salt, because don't know. At this point, I'm hoping things will continue to keep getting better, even though it's, more difficult. Still stressing. It's just, a lot of this stuff, bills, home life stuff, and all that stuff, that's nothing new to me. It's all the other crap that's been going on. That's been quite, heavily excessive. So, I'm going to finally go get some rest. I want to keep this, 30 or less, so I don't chomp your ears off, I'll try and keep it at a nibble. How's that? And yeah, be safe today. I'll update you guys later or whatever, and ramble at you again later on. So, yeah, good morning. Try and have a good day at work. Be safe out there on the road. If people at work are having a shitty day, bring a Snickers bar and make sure to give it to them. Because they're probably hangry, and they're not their usual self when they're hangry. So, yeah, have a good day, and thank you for watching. Later.